This war did not begin overnight, and it will not end quickly. What we are witnessing today is the result of years of tension, strategy, and hidden conflict building beneath the surface. The United States and Iran have been moving toward this moment for decades. Now, that tension has finally reached a dangerous breaking point, and what happens next could reshape the entire global order. Unlike traditional wars, this conflict does not have clear front lines or simple narratives. It unfolds across multiple regions, involving both direct and indirect confrontations. Proxy forces, economic pressure, and technological warfare all play a role. Every move is calculated, yet outcomes remain uncertain. This makes the situation one of the most volatile in modern geopolitics. To understand the present, we must look back at the origins of this rivalry. The relationship between the United States and Iran has been shaped by decades of political and strategic disagreements. These tensions intensified over time due to conflicting interests in the Middle East. Each side views the other as a major threat to its influence. This long history set the stage for today's conflict. For many years, both nations avoided direct war. Instead, they engaged in indirect confrontation through regional allies and proxy groups. This allowed them to compete without triggering full-scale conflict. However, this strategy also increased instability in the region. Over time, the pressure continued to build. That fragile balance changed dramatically in early 2026. A series of coordinated strikes marked a turning point in the conflict. These strikes targeted key military and strategic locations. The scale and precision signaled a shift in strategy. The conflict had officially entered a new phase. Iran responded quickly and forcefully to these developments. Missile launches and drone attacks followed within a short period. These responses demonstrated both capability and intent. The message was clear: Iran would not remain passive. The situation escalated rapidly. One of the defining characteristics of this war is its speed. Events unfold within hours, sometimes minutes. Decisions must be made quickly under extreme pressure. This increases the risk of miscalculation, and in such a tense environment, even small mistakes can have massive consequences. The battlefield is no longer limited to a single country. It stretches across multiple regions in the Middle East. Countries such as Iraq, Syria, and Yemen are indirectly involved. This expands the scope of the conflict significantly. What was once localized is now regional. Proxy groups play a central role in this expansion. These groups operate across different countries and align with larger powers. They extend influence without direct confrontation. This creates multiple fronts within the conflict. It also makes it harder to contain. Through these proxy networks, Iran can project power beyond its borders. This strategy reduces the need for direct military engagement. However, it also complicates the situation for its opponents. Identifying targets and responses becomes more challenging. The conflict becomes more unpredictable. The United States has increased its military presence in response. Strategic assets have been deployed across key regions. This includes naval forces, air support, and defense systems. These moves signal readiness for escalation if necessary. They also act as a deterrent. Israel plays a critical role in this conflict as well. It views Iran as a direct threat to its national security. Its actions are closely aligned with U.S. strategies. This strengthens the overall response against Iran. It also increases the intensity of the conflict. Geography is one of the most important factors in this war. The Middle East is central to global energy supply. Any disruption in this region affects the entire world. This makes the conflict globally significant. The stakes are extremely high. The Strait of Hormuz is particularly crucial. It is one of the most important oil transit routes in the world. A large percentage of global oil passes through this narrow passage. Any disruption here could cause massive economic consequences. This makes it a key strategic point. Oil markets are highly sensitive to developments in the region. Prices can rise or fall rapidly based on news and events. Even small incidents can trigger major reactions. This reflects the global dependence on stable energy supply. The economic impact is immediate. Global trade is also affected by the conflict. Shipping routes become more dangerous and unpredictable. Insurance costs for cargo increase significantly. This leads to higher costs for goods worldwide. Consumers ultimately feel the impact. Technology has transformed how this war is fought. Drones and precision missiles allow for targeted operations. These tools increase efficiency while reducing visibility. They also make attacks harder to predict. This changes the nature of warfare. Cyber warfare adds another dimension to the conflict. Both sides have the capability to launch digital attacks. Critical infrastructure can be targeted remotely. This includes power grids, communication systems, and financial networks. The battlefield extends beyond physical space. Economic pressure remains a key strategy. Sanctions are used to weaken Iran's economy. These measures limit access to financial systems and trade. While effective, they also impact ordinary citizens. This creates humanitarian concerns. Despite these pressures, Iran has adapted. It has developed alternative economic strategies. Regional partnerships and informal trade networks play a role. These adaptations show resilience. The impact of sanctions is significant but not absolute. This conflict is also a battle for regional influence. Both sides aim to strengthen their position. Alliances are formed and reinforced. Each move is part of a larger strategy. Power dynamics continue to shift. Global powers are watching closely. Countries like China and Russia have strategic interests in the region. Their involvement adds complexity to the situation. While not directly involved, their influence is significant. This makes the conflict global. The European Union faces a difficult position. It seeks stability while managing economic risks. Energy dependence complicates its decisions. Diplomatic efforts are ongoing. However, solutions remain uncertain. Diplomacy continues alongside military actions. Negotiations aim to prevent further escalation. However, trust between the parties is low. Progress is slow and uncertain. The outcome is unclear. The risk of miscalculation remains high. A single mistake could trigger a larger conflict. This keeps the situation extremely fragile. Leaders must make careful decisions. The margin for error is small. Public perception plays a powerful role. Media coverage influences how people understand the conflict. Narratives shape political decisions. This adds pressure on governments. Information becomes a tool. Social media accelerates the spread of information. News travels instantly across the world. This increases awareness but also confusion. Misinformation can spread easily. Managing narratives becomes challenging. Humanitarian concerns are growing rapidly. Civilians are often the most affected. Displacement and shortages increase suffering. Access to basic resources becomes limited. This aspect cannot be ignored. Military strategies continue to evolve. Both sides adapt to changing conditions. New tactics are introduced regularly. This keeps the conflict dynamic. Predicting outcomes becomes harder. The possibility of a larger war remains real. Escalation could involve more countries. This would increase the global impact significantly. The risks are serious. The world is watching closely. Energy markets remain unstable. Prices fluctuate with every development. This affects economies worldwide. Stability is uncertain. The impact is far-reaching. The conflict is reshaping global alliances. Countries are reassessing their relationships. Strategic interests are changing. This influences future dynamics. The global order may shift. Economic consequences extend beyond the region. Global markets react to uncertainty. Investors become cautious. Growth may slow down. The ripple effects are widespread. Security policies around the world are evolving. Nations are adjusting their defense strategies. Military spending may increase. This reflects rising tensions. The global environment is changing. Despite the intensity, diplomatic solutions are still possible. Negotiations could lead to de-escalation. However, compromise is required. This is not guaranteed. The situation remains uncertain. The future of this war depends on key decisions. Leaders must balance strategy and risk. Outcomes are not predetermined. Multiple scenarios are possible. The stakes are high. This conflict represents a new form of warfare. It combines military, economic, and technological elements. Traditional boundaries are blurred. This defines modern conflict. The rules have changed. Understanding this war requires a broader perspective. It is not just about the countries. It involves global systems and interests. This makes it complex. Simple explanations are not enough. The world continues to watch closely. Every development matters. The impact extends far beyond the region. This is why it matters globally. The consequences affect everyone. If the conflict escalates further, the results could be severe. Global markets, energy supply, and political stability are at risk. The world could face major disruption. This is a critical moment. The future is uncertain. To understand what comes next, we must watch carefully. This war is still unfolding in real time. Its outcome has not yet been decided. The next moves will shape history, and the world is paying attention. If you want to stay informed about global power, conflicts, and the forces shaping our future, make sure to subscribe. Share this video with others who want to understand what is really happening. Because in today's world, knowledge is more than power. It is the key to understanding everything around us.